The Enigma of the House of Whispers. In the heart of the peaceful town of San Javier, where the mountains loom like somber giants and the forests whisper some of the many ancestral secrets, stood the House of Whispers. With its moss-covered stone walls and windows that seemed like eyes with a lost gaze, the mansion was a vision of a forgotten and quite dense past. The legend told that, within its walls, the spirits who could not reach heaven wandered lost, trapped in an eternal cycle of regret and faint hope. Valeria, a young librarian with curious eyes and an indomitable spirit, had arrived in San Javier seeking to uncover the mysteries of the House of Whispers. Dazzled by its history, she immersed herself in dusty archives and old tales from the town's elders, determined to uncover the truth behind all those stories. But one night, Valeria disappeared without a trace, leaving the village in an even deeper silence filled with fear. Clara Martinez, a young journalist with a great obsession for uncovering the truth, arrived in San Javier with the goal of writing about the town's legends. However, Valeria's disappearance diverted all her attention, awakening in her a somewhat strange need to uncover the truth. Her restless eyes, trained to read people, detected in the atmosphere of the town something more than mere fear, a carefully guarded secret. In the town square, Clara met Diego Torres, a melancholic young man with a sad gaze who had been a close friend of Valeria. Tormented by the guilt of not having protected her, Diego offered to help Clara with her investigation, revealing that Valeria had been obsessed with an ancient diary she found in the library, a diary that held the darkest secrets of the House of Whispers. Clara and Diego's investigation led them to wander through the ancient streets of San Javier, where the shadows seemed to become increasingly foreign to the bodies of the two young people, and the townspeople's gazes grew ever more hateful. Each question was met with deafening silence or hesitant answers, as if some spell or curse forbade them from speaking about the House of Whispers. However, some dared to share a few of their experiences, and the occasional gossip heard at dinners about strange apparitions, unexplained noises at night, and a presence that no one was sure how to describe, but was very frightening and felt in every corner of the village. Diego revealed that the diary, written by a certain Don Alonso de Sandoval, the former owner of the mansion, contained some clues about a hidden treasure and a series of disappointing events that had marked the history of the family home. Don Alonso, a man of fortune and great renown, had been consumed by obsession and madness, leading his family and himself to a dark fate. As they delved deeper into the investigation, Clara and Diego began to experience a couple of rather strange situations. Like flickering lights in the windows of the House of Whispers, noises of footsteps in the empty hallways, and shadows moving among the trees in the garden, as if tormented spirits were trying to communicate with them. However, the young couple, although they were very startled inside, did not flinch at these warnings or threats. The atmosphere grew increasingly dense, charged with an unsettling energy that sent shivers down their spines. Clara found a series of letters written by Valeria shortly before her disappearance. In them, the young librarian described having seen a mysterious figure lurking around the mansion, a man with a pale face and dark eyes who seemed to watch her from the shadows. Valeria felt that something was calling her from the house, an almost impossible-to-control force that drew her into the mansion. One day, Clara received an anonymous message, a note written with clumsy letters warning her to stay away from the House of Whispers. The message was clear. Her curiosity would put her in danger. However, Clara, driven by her thirst for truth and her desire to find Valeria, refused to be overcome by fear. Together, Clara and Diego one night decided to explore the mansion, when the moon, so imposing that it seemed to wish them luck, illuminated the sky and the winds whistled a melancholic melody among the trees. As they crossed the small but very elegant foyer located at the door, they felt a chill run through them to their very bones, as if they had entered a different reality, a place where time had stopped and the ghosts of the past roamed freely. The air was thick with dust and a smell of dampness that filled their lungs. The walls seemed to watch them with suspicion, while the dark hallways stretched out before them like endless labyrinths. Finally, after some fearful but quite productive hours of searching, they found a hidden room behind a huge wardrobe in the mansion's library. The room, small and dirty, seemed to have been closed for decades. Inside the room, they found Don Alonso's old diary, along with a very worn photo of Don Alonso de Sandoval himself. In the portrait, the man had an intense and somber gaze, with eyes that seemed to penetrate the soul of anyone who dared to look at him. As they read the yellowed and damp pages of the diary, Clara and Diego discovered the tragic story of Don Alonso. The man had been obsessed with a young woman named Elena, a beauty with a yearning for freedom who had rejected his courtship. Consumed by frustration and revenge, Don Alonso had kidnapped her in the mansion, leaving her in total captivity and without a drop of happiness. Elena mysteriously disappeared, leaving behind a trail of pain and despair. Suddenly, a loud bang was heard from upstairs, scaring Clara and Diego. Filled with courage, they decided to confront the unknown, climbing the noisy stairs, feeling how their bodies gradually tensed. On the upper floor, they found a half-open door. They carefully opened it and were greeted by a gust of wind that almost froze them, as if it wanted to push them out of the room. In the center of the room, covered with a faded and quite dirty sheet, stood an antique mirror with a rather extravagant frame. Clara approached the mirror and, with fear coursing through her veins, removed the sheet. Upon seeing her reflection, she felt a chill run from her head to the tips of her toes. She not only saw her own image, but also fleeting glimpses of Valeria, happy moments from her life before she knew anything about her. Suddenly the mirror began to distort. The images became blurry and somewhat eerie, and it was then that Clara felt as if she were being pulled into the mirror. At that very moment, Doña Rita, a grandmother from the village who knew the secrets of the House of Whispers, appeared in the doorway. Her face was pale and her eyes filled with fear. Doña Rita revealed that she had met Valeria and had been trying to protect her from the same fate that Elena suffered a few years ago. The old woman confessed that the tormented spirit of Don Alonso still roamed the house, seeking revenge for his unfulfilled love. It was he who brought Valeria to the mansion, promising to reveal all the secrets she longed to know, but in reality, he planned to make her his next victim. With this discovery, Clara understood that they had to give peace to Don Alonso's tormented soul in order to rescue Valeria. Together, they decided to perform a ritual using the cards, the diary, and the mirror as a guide. Doña Rita recited ancient prayers, and Clara and Diego followed her instructions, invoking the forces of light to fight against the darkness that reigned in the house. As they carried out the ritual, the echoes of the voices of the poor tormented spirits resonated in the room. The tragic stories of Elena, Don Alonso, and Valeria intertwined with their own destined endings, creating a whirlwind of strange but very powerful emotions and energies. The mirror vibrated intensely before shattering into 1,000 pieces, leaving some wounds among those present, but revealing a rather twisted past behind it. In the hallway, they found Valeria unconscious but alive. She had been trapped in a kind of limbo between two worlds, that of the living and that of the dead, a victim of a spirit full of malice and with an insatiable thirst for revenge. With Valeria's release, the curse of the House of Whispers finally ended. The spirit of Don Alonso found peace and his destiny. The mansion ceased to be a place of terror, and as if by magic, it was cleansed and stopped being gloomy. Clara, Diego, and Doña Rita became the great heroes of San Javier, congratulating and celebrating them for freeing the town from the burden of the past. Valeria, although traumatized by her experience, found the strength and motivation to move forward, inspired by the bravery of her friends, and although it is hard to believe, excited by the great and terrifying experience she lived through. The story of the House of Whispers became a famous legend, a warning about the dangers of obsession and revenge, but also a testament to what love, friendship, and liberation can achieve. Clara became a famous journalist known for her excellent investigations into the paranormal and her great bravery. This experience helped her to reflect on how the secrets and experiences of the past can affect the present very strongly, and how each person has their own story, which can be so pleasant or unfortunate that it has the power not only to scare and torment, but also to heal and leave a great lesson in the lives of others.